on, guys? It's Aaron here. In this video, I want to talk about how I optimize my keywords in my Google Ads accounts to make sure that they're providing leads, generating calls at an effective cost. If you don't know me, my name is Aaron Bogle. I do Google Ads for home care agencies and also Facebook ads to help businesses find new employees. While my main niche is home care agencies, I have generated leads for HVAC, solar, and the home service businesses as well. So if you want content related to that and you like that kind of stuff, for the free advice that is tried and tested, and I show actual account data, as you'll see here, feel free to leave a like on this video and subscribe. As you can see, I'm still a very small YouTuber, so every like and subscribe helps and really means so much to me. This is an account that has a good amount of data that I could show you guys pretty much how I optimize my keywords. So I like to get a big overview of the clicks, conversions, cost per conversion, the total cost. The main thing you should be concerned about is your cost per conversion. I would audit accounts all the time, and then people say, oh, how do I lower my cost per click? Or, oh, how do I, do this and do that? And I would rather pay, $30 for a click that leads to a conversion than get $23 clicks that don't lead to a conversion. Because at the end of the day, conversions is what gets you closer to, generating that lead, generating that sale, generating that call. So that's what I mainly focus on. Yes, I do look at conversion rate and I am concerned about conversion rate. But if I have a conversion rate of, 5%, but my cost per conversion is very good, I'm not going to be too scared about it. I'm always optimizing, trying to get my, conversion rate up. But my main concern is the cost per conversion. If it's at the range that I like, I'm happy. Here's what I do on a day-to-day basis in terms of optimizing the keywords, and that's looking at the search terms. On some accounts, it's under keywords. On newer accounts, it's under insight and reports. You go into search terms, and then you can see what are people literally typing in on Google for your ad to show. And you want to think to yourself, do I want to be showing up for these search terms? So do I want to be showing up for home care service? Yes. Home health care near me? Yes. Even though home health care is different, not many people really know the difference, so it's still a good word to target. Home care services in location, yes, I do want to be showing up for that, right? So I go through on usually I do this daily, but I say I recommend doing this at least twice a week. You want to go through the search terms and make sure that these are terms that you do want to be showing up for. So I mainly exclude competitors or just completely just ambiguous terms. Okay, so since that account is an exact match only account, it had actually very good search terms, but let's say you wanted to target, you're doing phrase and exact, how you would do it. So this one, share links by ShareCare, we don't want to be showing up for that. So I would just take it, add it as a negative keyword, and then I make sure I add in as a negative keyword to the campaign, and then I click save. Ideally, what you want to do is take the root, so care links, and then add it in as a broad match to the campaign as well. So how I do that is I take the root of it, I copy it, I put it in a notes. So here's sympathy, and another here is like say care links. And then at the end of the day, I will take this and add these to my negative keyword list as well. So this is why I do it on a daily basis, because you can see you can generate a lot of different search terms and you want to make sure you add them all in as negatives. I recommend if it's a new campaign or if it's a new niche that you don't run exact match only, because you don't know the words that convert. Since I've been in the home care niche for 3 years now, I still do phrase match keywords for keywords I know work very well, and it still generates new ideas, new keywords, and new conversions at a cheaper rate than exact match can. Don't avoid phrase match keywords, but be prepared that if you do phrase match, you're going to be adding in a good amount of negatives. That's my search term check. And then what I do is once I do that, once a week, I'll go through the actual keyword data. And I first look at the ad group to get like a high level overview of how each specific theme is performing. So if you remember from a lot of my videos, I discuss, you want to make your ad group as tightly knit themed as possible. So here I have the home care service. So this is just general home care terms, locations, geo targets, and then specific services. So like pearl surgery and home care for disability. So I'm seeing here that my caregiver plus location terms. It has a very good cost per conversion. So does my Geotarget Home Care and even the post surgery, but there's not much data here. So if there's not much data, I just usually leave it alone. And usually I don't make a decision until I get like 6 or 7 clicks. And I look at the search terms associated with those keywords. And if they're not that great, or I don't really like them, or they're not too specific, then I might pause that keyword. But in terms of ad groups, these are all performing pretty well, except for the home care service. That cost per conversion is higher relative to everything else. So I go on a home care service. There's only 2 keywords here in this case, and I pause home care near me. I probably let in-home care services run a little bit more, but then you can see here it's not generating the conversions that I like, or it's only generating 1 conversion at 153. So again, I'll look at the search terms as well and see why that could possibly be the case. I'll order by clicks. So yes, I am mostly seeing home care service in home and home health services, but I'm also getting clicks for home care agency, you know, um, caregivers as well. So something that could possibly happen is maybe I make a specific ad group that's more targeted towards, home care agency and in-home caregivers, which I have already. So maybe something that would improve it is if I add the word in-home caregivers as a negative keyword for this specific ad group, because all my ads are related to the words home care service. If they see the word in-home caregiver, maybe there's a better chance of them converting if they go through an ad that talks about in-home caregivers, which goes to a landing page that talks more about the caregivers that are there at the home care agency. So that's something to keep in mind as well, of why an ad group may not be performing well. But rest assured, it's fine just to pause that ad group if it's not performing. But then I also like to look at, so even with the ad groups that are performing well, I still go through them to see, okay, why are they performing very well? Is there a keyword in there that's performing very well? And then the other ones are still just lackluster. In this case, this keyword here generated 2 conversions at, $9 a conversion. We'll take that. Caregiver Toronto, $53 a conversion. That's still pretty good. We probably paused it because they probably didn't want clients in Toronto at the moment or something like that. But I like to also just pause keywords as well that are just driving up the costs, and just to give some other keywords some some shine, to see, okay, can we get some impressions, can we get clicks, can we get conversions from other keywords as well? Because what may be happening is a few keywords are taking up all your spend, but if they're not generating you conversions at a level you would like, it may be useful just to pause those keywords to see how do the other keywords perform and see if they can generate you conversion. That's like the second layer of it. And then the third layer I do is I adjust the bids depending on how it's performing. So in this case, this keyword, let's say, it generated 2 good conversions. So this is assuming that the conversions are good. So that way you go into the conversion data. So in my case, I use CallRail. I listen to the calls. I see, okay, the call that this keyword generated is good. So I say, okay, the top of page bid is $4.50. The first position bid is $10.65. So if I know that the keyword's performing very well, I usually aim somewhere in the middle. So in this case, like around 865. If I do want to be more aggressive with it, and I do want to say, hey, let's see what happens if I do go to the first position, I may bid to that first position bid and maybe a little bit more. This is just an estimate of what it might take to bid to get to the first position, to get most of your impressions in the top of the bid. So if I want even more in the top of the bid, I might bid, $11 or $12. And things always change, day to day, week to week. So if I bid a little bit higher, and I may not look at the account for the week, maybe the dynamics of the auction have changed, but I'm still bidding very aggressively in this case. So I go through this for all the different keywords and I say, okay, do I want to bid higher or lower? In this case, 865, it's all pretty much at 865 right now. But in this case, so let's say I wanted to give in-home care near me a better chance. So I would maybe want to bid a little bit higher for this, so that way I get more impressions. So another thing you can look at as well, if you want to go on a deeper level, and you want to look at your search top impression share, and then your search lost top impression share. So search top impression share is pretty much the impressions you receive at the top of the location divided by the estimated number of impressions you are eligible to receive. So this is just pretty much saying how much of the market are you capturing with this keyword. And then the TERP loss impression share rank is the amount of impression share that you lost because of factors like your rank in this case. So in this case, we're showing up. So 77% of the time that people are searching for home care agencies near me, 77% of the time we're showing up at the top. And because of our rank, we're losing 22% of the time. This is actually very good. This means that we're showing up for a good amount of the time that people are searching up for this keyword. So we have a very high search top impression share. If we wanted to say, okay, you know what, let's get it to 100%, maybe then we would bid up to the first position, or we'll bid a little bit more. So let's say in this case, for example, in home care near me, we're showing up 77% of the time. Maybe if we bid $10, we'll show up 90% of the time. And let's say there's a keyword that's a little bit lower. So let's go into the home care service one. So here, okay, so it's 47% of the time in this case. So let's say we want to try to show up a little bit more. We would increase the bids, because if we increase the bids, we're going to show up for more impressions. Thus, we're going to show up more times, get more clicks, and hopefully get more calls. However, if you are using automated bidding, you may want to increase the targets that you have. So if you're using target CPA, if you set like a target CPA of like $50, you may want to increase that to $70, so that way you give Google more wiggle room to get you more impressions, get you more clicks, get you more calls. If using maximize conversions, that may mean that you want to increase your budget, because maximize conversions is trying to get you as many conversions as you can for your budget. So let's say in this case, we were using maximize conversions and we want to show up more times. We may have to increase the budget from 70 a day to maybe 80 a day or 90 a day, because maximize conversion is pretty much based off your budget. And if you have a higher budget, that means Google's going to have more room to get you more impressions and different things like that. So I first look at the search terms, then I look at how the keyword's performing, and then I look at how the keyword's performing. If the keyword's performing not very well, I'll just pause it, or I'll just lower the bids dramatically. If the keyword's performing well, I look at the search impression share, and then I increase the bids based if I want more impressions, or I keep it the same if I'm getting a very good top impression share. So let's say you're losing a lot to rank. So in this case, 33%. The quickest way, because your rank is determined by how much you're bidding plus your quality score. So the quickest way to increase your rank is, of course, to increase your bids. So that's why I say, a quick way is just to, instead of doing $6, maybe do $8 in this case. So yeah, guys, that's how I optimize keywords. I go through the search terms, then I look at the ad group level, see how they're performing on the ad group side of things. Then I go inside the ad group, and then I pause keywords that are just underperforming. And then for the keywords that are performing well, I look at the impression share. If I want to increase that, I increase the bids if I'm, bidding already aggressively. So that is keyword optimization, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn how to set up a Google Ads campaign so that way it's performing right from the get-go, click on the video that is attached to this end screen to see that. See you guys in that video. Take care.